That should be a strong match.
Are we doing 3 people or are we doing 2? How are we doing?
As many as we can get.
Okay.
I need your lineup, please.
We'll have a space for you.
Carter, I just sent you a WhatsApp message
Okay, I'll attach it to.
because I didn't know if you had realized I was in there.
Okay.
Last thing that I feel it keeps track of us.
Hey, it knows what we're doing. What's this? Yeah. Craig Anderson's going to join.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. So,
Actually, who? Oh, we should get another Dane to comment. Morty, are you playing?
Yes,
Okay. Who from Denmark isn't playing?
Benjamin and Daniel.
Could you think?
Benjamin alone.
hello.
Yeah, you think Ben or Daniel would want to do commentary? Like, it'd be nice to have a Dane comment on the.
Hello. Malcolm, yeah, if you want to join us.
So can you
Thomas Myhr and
what do they
Geert
have
van der
to
Stricht.
use? Which
It's going to be a stream. I think it's going to be uploaded later, probably because the internet's been a little spotty.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll just be a commentary, and then I think they're.
just one match, right?
It's the Myhr match. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they would be with a delay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to send either Ben or Daniel out here.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's just having spaghetti.
Oh, they're eating. Yeah, they're on.
So with how much delay? 15 minutes? 1 hour?
We're going to start uploading after the match.
So after the match.
You will show it, stream
After the match. Yeah.
Okay.
So it won't be live, but it will be good.
And it's on YouTube?
Yeah, it's YouTube, and we'll give you the web link. I can send it to you.
Yeah.
Okay,
please do.
for sure.
All right,
Gotcha.
so come over here a bit,
Yeah.
and we will get set up. I'm going to go get us
Actually,
in.
let me warn Craig real quick.
Sure.
How fast we're gonna have Ben do it.
All right, good morning, everybody. We are not quite live. We're pre-recorded from the beautiful town of Kamena Vourla in Greece. We're not quite live. We've had a few little hiccups with the internet, but it's okay. We should have Malcolm with us in a bit. We may have a different commentator, but certainly I'll be here with Carter. We have a beautiful matchup for you guys. I can see Malcolm, he's right here. We may be having a bit of a switch around at some point. I might actually leave you and let the professionals take charge. So this is Malcolm Hudson, who you all know. Welcome back to the channel. Great to have you. We're going to be here with Carter.
Got it. We've only got one stream yet. So.
Yeah, well, we're just waiting for Thomas Myhr versus Geert van der Stricht. A beautiful head-to-head, Denmark, Belgium. And so yeah, I think Thomas Myhr is very strong grandmaster. We're going to see what he can do. Geert van der Stricht is not a player I know well, so I'm interested to see how he plays. He's on table 1 for Belgium, so he knows what he's doing. And so we're just waiting for them to get underway. I've let them know that they can start whenever they want.
So James, before Carter gets here, I should mention to you that after Carter and I did a little bit of streaming yesterday, I got a couple of messages that said you and that other guy were great. I don't know if Carter's used to being the other guy. So I can't wait to tell him.
Oh, indeed.
We're down to one screen.
Well, I just had my. We're going to reduce the equipment because we're not live streaming, so I don't need to check the chat. And it's unprofessional to just have Facebook and Instagram and whatever while we're streaming. So I thought I'd just for you guys at home, I'd focus on the match and see what we can do. Okay, we're saying the handshake. Let us get to the action, shall we? And.
What time do you finish streaming last night?
Got to bed at about 1 o'clock. Oh, it's fine.
Still shooting at 2:15.
Okay, so you must be on fine form. Alright, so as you can see, we have Geert. We have the names in the correct place, which is. Oh, wait, hang on. We have a problem with the camera. The board cam, hang on.
Do we have the screen a bit closer to it?
Yeah, okay. Sure. All right, here we are. We have Geert with white checkers. We have Thomas with the black checkers. And we have opened with a 4-1.
I don't know if Carter can see the screen from there.
And we certainly can't see Carter, which is a terrible, terrible thing. But we will make sure that everything is kind of... Nope.
Now known forever as the other guy.
Right. Well, I mean, let's.
All
right.
Have to come
All right.
down under.
Right. That's true. That makes sense.
So yes. We are in a sort of blitzing structure for Thomas, which is not ideal when your opponent has that anchor, but he's happy to make a decent board, much stronger board. There's a direct hit with the 6s, double 5. Do you go for a counter blitz here, guys? A double 5 for Geert van der Stricht.
I think I just make the 3 here. It doesn't seem like you're getting enough by hitting him off the ace.
Yeah, I'm with Carter on here, but this is fantastic when you're down to this, and I suppose.
Yeah, and with the blot
suppose
on
the counter blitz, he's got the blot. That's in its favour. On the other hand, holding the anchor and making it 3 points, a very long-term sound structural game plan.
That's going to be problematic, right?
Oh, for sure.
So,
oh, sorry.
not often I get to make my opponents 8 points so it's early in the game.
Oh, it's beautiful. Just checking the audio. We are okay. It's fine. Okay. And okay, so another double 5. We're getting some fine blitzing. All right.
Yeah, he's still trying to
Still trying to
figure
work
out.
this out. Yeah. I don't know. It's coming out. I don't know if he's got enough race for this to be worthwhile. It might be better to hold back a bit, but especially when you've made your ace point.
Well, the thing is, the 17 point for him is going to be problematic now.
Yeah.
He's going to have to look at clearing at some stage, and that can't be done easily.
Indeed. All right, this double 4 has done a bit of cleaning up.
Yeah, you don't need. I don't think you need to anchor on your opponent's 4 point when you have such a strong board. You want the contact,
for
right?
sure.
You want the shots.
For sure.
I think Carter's play previously was correct. Let's just do the quiet play there and make the 3 point.
Yeah, he's not really in danger of running out with both of those checkers, so I think it's probably fine. This 4-3. All right, he's going for the cube already.
Can you see there?
Yeah,
Okay.
no problem.
All right. Okay, right. This is an interesting cube for black. I'm pretty sure this is Is he just counting on the indirects, the 7s and the 9s to this blot as his market loser?
Well, I don't think he loses his market if he gets hit. That's the thing. He doesn't want to be hit, but if he's hit, he's not dead.
But with Thomas, if he manages if he hits, a fan I think would be a market loser. But he's not favored to hit.
He's not favored to hit.
With 7s and 9s, he's on what, like maybe 10 shots, even less, like 6. Because not all 9s, so double 3 doesn't work. Alright, he takes it. I think this take is pretty clear. 6-5 is a miss, and it's a pretty ugly miss as well. You're just going to try and tempt him off his anchor?
I think Thomas has got one objective now.
Yeah, so Thomas on a cube,
Scramble.
a nice early aggressive cube, maybe just kind
Scramble
of
home.
poking the bear a bit.
Well, he knows, he has those numbers, right? That if he hits, he's too good,
Yeah.
right? So even right now, he can scooch and in and.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for Garrett to attack against that 4-point board. Although this double one does some nice things. But just keep going, right?
Right, yeah, you want to keep the structure in front. And
Got
now-
a bit of a trash prime with that gap in the ace point made, but it's better than nothing.
Right, but Myhr has to kind of roll carefully. Double twos.
Double two, 3 of them play really well.
Yeah, I don't even know if 3 of them.
Maybe even make the 7 and the 3, so you got massive attack.
Right,
potential.
I think the 7 and the 3, or maybe slot the 3, come up and make the 7. You put a little more pressure, and you also can run out a little easier.
Yeah, or potentially come up to the 20 and come down to the 11 with both. It's not bad. The 7 is not an essential point at the moment. I think his game plan is.
I think
pretty
it's
much
just so you don't have that problem with like the 6-1.
Yeah. Yeah, in the words of Marlon Brando, it's better to have a 7 point and not need it rather than
Need a
7
point
need a
and not
7
have
point
it,
and
right.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando.
I paraphrase slightly. He probably played backgammon a bit.
I mean,
Around that time.
I would trust Thomas Myhr to get this right. So I feel like whatever he's playing.
Yeah, he's taking his time over it, so I think it seems good. Like you really want to be able to get that last checker free. That is the problem checker.
It's interesting. I don't think coming up there to the 20 point can be wrong, but none of us really considered giving up the 13 point. Had to make clearing a bit easier.
Yeah, it's gonna be easier, but the problem is look, you're 10 away. Like you were 9 away from saving that checker back there, and now you're 12 away.
Yeah.
And
the midpoint is doing some good work. It's putting pressure on that last point. The Garrett structure is pretty strict. He's got 1 spare checker on his midpoint.
I'm in the come up to the 20 point.
Right, but most pointing numbers are going to leave several indirects, right?
Time to commit, guys. What are we doing? Are we coming up or not coming up?
I always liked to come up on this.
I'm a comer upper.
I come up, I come down, and I slot. That's my plan.
Okay.
I'm going to go against the words of
And
G,
Thomas.
G, whatever, Thomas Myhr.
Thomas has showed us up. We would have been pointing on.
Indeed, it's a bit of a big play to make the 5 point here.
Oh, we would have had 3-5, 2-5, 2-6 as responses.
Yeah. All right. 3-2. Now this is a little bit ugly. You don't want to be leaving a shot. That's the problem.
Right.
So I think this has to be it. Otherwise, you'd love to step up again, but otherwise, just waiting for 6s. 6-4 can hit, and I think no, you don't have to. You can come down with you can break that last point.
It could be a little bit gammon conscious and might be.
Yeah, that
Risky
3 hit is
risk,
just so tragic.
Yeah, I like having a builder on the 11 point here. This is a nice place to have it, or you're unhappy if he plays 6-2, but it's the only joker apart from double 6 whatever.
So this is this problematic 17 point that we mentioned
This
earlier.
is an ugly play, but it does give you some attacking potential.
Right, and now all of a sudden you have potential to make the 3, the 2,
Yeah. Okay, it seems ugly but reasonable. Leaving the 10s, just a 6.
And that's just run. Yeah.
You're leaving just a
3s and 7s.
3s and 7s, so 3-4 duplicated. So
Sevens hit.
7's hit, yes. Not all 7. Well, all 7s. But, double 4. Do you go all in for the race, or do you stay back for a bit of contact?
Well, he probably, I don't know if he's kept a running count or not, but
Yeah, he's just taking a look, but there's no way you're in this race. This isn't
Yeah, it's
a little too much. Like those are for like you're up 3 down.
this gets rid of all
12,
contact. So
15. Oh, actually, yeah. No, I take this back. The race is actually a lot closer than I think.
yeah. Well, a double 4 will do good things to your race.
Right. It's amazing how those double 4s clean up. But now also then you allow the Baron to be a lot easier for black, right? If he just frees that, then all of a sudden he can dump. He doesn't have to play as stiff. as if when there's pressure on that 3 away and the 7 away.
And you got to think that what's more likely to get you into a recube? Is it going to be a racing lead or is it going to be a shot lever?
Yeah. We have a guest, Daniel Sorensen. I'm going to actually step out so he can come in.
All right. Automatic, thank you for your contribution. Hope to see you again soon. Daniel Sorensen, he's a backgammon player, you all know. First time commentator with me, so.
Malcolm.
Daniel.
Malcolm.
Hi Daniel, I'm James. Welcome to the channel.
It's a bit early in the day, we can't pip count yet, so we need
Yeah.
to stay up
So
until 2 playing
slide in a
short.
little bit so we can see you on the screen,
Yes.
please. All right. Okay.
Now, special guest pit counter for those of us that were up until 2:15 playing Chouette. We're a bit rusty this early.
Oh, indeed. So what we have here, we have first round, Thomas Myhr for Denmark, who you know, against Geert van der Stricht for Belgium, who you may know. 0-0. Cube is with Geert. A little bit of an early ambitious cube. It's a difficult double 4, wondering whether to run or maintain contact.
Oh, great.
So 2-3 for Geert. I think you're building boards.
White's had a problem with the 17 point since about the 4th roll. So that's the basis of this game. So,
It's a nice anchor to have. Actually. In this kind of position, I'm quite happy to have the 17 point. Because it might be a problem here. Double 3, for example, where he brings 1 down and around. And it just keeps going. So now it's like 6-1, 6-2, 6-3, which are shot levers. You can't run. You stayed for contact, so you gotta keep on it. However, you may be leaving yourself vulnerable to any 6s in the future. So
not a very handy lead here.
6-2. Here we go.
6-2, 6-3.
Yep.
Which is
6-2.
6-2.
6-2. So 11 shots. And he found it. Do you play the technical play and play on for the minuscule too good, or do you just cash it in now?
Oh, this is too good because there's no there's no regret rolls. So. Actually, there might have been double 6, but it would still be worth it. Yeah.
Double 6 shot, hit, cover, it would be disaster, but minuscule.
Yes, but you just keep playing until you're threatening to leave a shot.
And God knows this because he plays a lot online. So if he's ever made this mistake by doubling immediately, he's learned it for a long time ago.
Oh, for sure. So I don't know Geert's play at all. I've never seen him play. What kind of player is he?
He's isn't it him who's Little Karpov online? I think so. I think he plays every day online.
Oh, okay. I've
On
seen
Heroes,
Little Karpov's name pop up quite a lot.
What do you think the nick is? What's his nickname online?
Little Karpov.
Little Karpov.
So he's a chess player as well?
I don't know. We should ask him.
Okay. 3-3, rip him, still too good. So yeah, there's a couple of gammons here. Get a freak gammon.
But there's a shot.
No, there's no shot. He's come
Oh,
out.
he's out.
Yeah,
Sorry.
he's out.
He's out. He's fine.
yeah.
So I think this is just a gin position now.
Yeah, that's with no G's anymore.
Not much excitement left.
No, but we're gonna go to 2-0 for Geert, 9 away, 11 away.
Is that good looking coffee from the front bar?
Yeah, I just went to the front. Sorry.
I'll go and get you.
Eyes on the prize, Malcolm. Eyes on the prize. So do you adjust your gameplay at like a small lead in an 11-point match?
Yeah, slightly, especially with the cube. There might be some positions that you wouldn't double at 0-0 that you have to double. Mainly because you know that your opponent won't be sending a leading recube over as easily as they would with the cube from the middle or even at an even score.
Yeah, I know like at this score I'm not as aggressive as maybe I should be with the cube, but with recubes I know you have to like jump on them.
Yeah.
Okay, 5-1, classic, splitting down. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel here. 5-2. Yeah, fine.
So Myhr, he usually runs into, I won't say time trouble, but
He gets under pressure.
it's very common that he's under 30 seconds when the match is over.
I hate that. I can't do it. Yeah.
But he's used to it. He has a lot of experience with playing under.
Does he play speed a lot?
And well, he plays speed in every match. Actually, I think he's won some local speed tournaments in Denmark.
All right, where I imagine the level is pretty high.
Yeah, it's pretty good level.
Yeah. Yeah, the problem I have, like when you did below 30, it's like it's good, but then you roll the tricky double 4 or something to play, and all of a sudden you are under serious pressure, and you know either you waste a lot of time or you make a big mistake.
Yeah.
I played Thomas live in Gibraltar, and he managed his time, but he didn't have a lot on the clock at the end.
No. I've played him twice this year, and both times he had very big time struggles. And in one of the matches, he did all right. In the other match, he had a few blunders because of he didn't have time to think it through.
All right, so I have a 6-3 to play. I think the 6 has already come down to make it 7 points. Oh no, sorry, 6-3. Oh no, sorry, this is a cube decision. My bad. I was following Daniel too closely to look at the board. All right, cube decision. Malcolm, what do you think?
Well, he might want to test Geert out here. I mean, he's holding the anchor. He's got a very small attack going. We're joined by Greek royalty over here. So, yes.
I think this is a quite clear double, actually.
I don't think he'll let it pass without cubing.
So if it's a clear double, you guys taking it?
What?
I think I questioned the take more than I questioned it.
So this double 5 is a clear market loser.
Yeah, even if he rolls a 2. Yeah. And if he doesn't roll a 2, he can play on.
Well, if you roll the anchor, you cube it anyway, because you must have enough of a racing advantage to cube here in a holding game.
Well, let's see.
And he reaches for it. Maybe one roll too late.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
the previous one, I mean, even with an ordinary roll, and if White had made the advanced anchor there with the 2, he was still in
Okay,
a
I see
strong
the
position.
races. Forward. Okay, the races looks close enough.
Yeah.
So, guess he's double checking. That's 12 pips, looks like.
If it's 12 pips, then
Take.
like without that structure, the take is trivial. With the kind of broken 5 prime there, broken 6 prime, I think it's a little bit harder, but it should still be a take.
Yeah,
he's gonna
so
The advanced anchors makes clearing the 10 point a little bit harder. And he's just going to sit there until he can.
Yeah, 6-5. Yeah, I think I keep the midpoint here.
He's got a racing tech. So,
And make an inner void point rather than slotting another 2 seems fair, because the shot might come pretty soon. 4-2. Not the prettiest, but seems fine. I realize that it still says round 4. It's actually round 5, guys. I'll change it after this game. Okay. 5-1s. Yeah. He's really looking for those combinations of 3, 5, 6.
and double. He's got a long time to roll it.
Oh, and this double 6 evens out the race, but those 2 checkers stuck back there might have a bit of a tough time. Might be forced to run out and leave shots while Thomas has improved his board. 6-1. This has got to be better than breaking one of the points.
So he's looking at shots, but it should be the same. So you stay back.
Yeah, well, so if he stays there, it's 5-4. If he comes down, it's 5-3. Maybe slightly easier to clear that point.
Yeah, but the race is so close, and he might be wanting to run. So
Yeah. 4-2. Do you save it? Is there any point in saving a 6 here? Because your 6s don't play on the other side of the board.
I always just move them in because you're gonna. you're going to be forced to move it anyway. So,
Yeah.
and he might even want to run with 5-6.
Yeah.
So,
I think so. You
if
maybe
you're-
take advantage of your stronger board.
yeah.
Well, long term, you can't take them off until you get them in.
But if
Get them in
you're
now for, you know, he's got some racing potential. He will go if he gets a good chance. Get them in.
if you
2-4.
want to save a 6, you want to make sure you want to save a 6.
This is interesting because you could potentially clear the 10 here, but I think with that big double 6, you probably want to maintain the blocking structure as long as possible.
Yeah, and Myhr will know that.
Yeah. It's not his first rodeo, and it's not a rodeo for viewers at home.
I know.
Double 4. All right, I think now he's going to play a race. It's not that pretty, but making the 2 seems fine. You could come to the 6 and bring in the 7 point.
But he wants builders in case he runs.
Yeah, and he's running now. So we're looking at anything that doesn't contain a 5 or a 6 is good. 2 and a 6, not so good. I don't know. I can't see how the race is. Probably not worth hitting, but how bad is it if he manages to escape?
I think he'll play for distribution here and play 8-2, 5-3, and count the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for racing, like bringing 2 in is not bad.
Yeah, but you block double 3s
Yeah.
and 3. Like if White wants to run, then you can block other 3s as well.
Yeah, and threes and fours are blocked, which is 16 pips or 12 pips. So he's not losing too much by coming playing in. If he stays, he's got a few pointers on and picks some passes and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I think that he blocks double 3s and double 4s, which are good racing numbers.
Yes.
Also, it's not as difficult to clear a point against a blot as it is against an anchor.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst, you can hit it.
Yeah.
4-3. All right. He would have run out if he broke one of the blinds.
And he's got a few nice little rolls here.
Lots of pick and passes like that.
Okay.
That's perfect because he doesn't even leave a blot.
Yeah, he'll take
We
that.
call that as a potential. There we go.
5-6 fans.
So 4-3, double 2s.
1-6. Yeah, sure. Clear the 7 seems reasonable.
Blocks double 4s.
Yeah. 2-3 fan.
Double 2s and double 4s and
Double 3. Just take one off.
double. Yeah.
Very handy.
Just maybe it smells barbecue in here.
Hmm?
It smells like bacon or something. It smells good in here.
Not,
What do you put in your coffee?
Oh, it's coffee maybe. Mm.
you got syrup in that of some sort?
No, it's just cappuccino.
Oh, the double 5. The double 6, double 4, beautiful. Double 5 smacks right into the big stack. 1, 2. Yes, probably fine. You'd be
Yeah,
unhappy to roll the double 6 and leave a shot.
4, 5s, and 6 actually.
Yeah.
And you think he really does not a lot of GZs, so
There are now. There are some now.
those small little incremental games.
So he's
Does he
happy
have-
after the last 2,
Yeah, it could pay off big time.
Alright, 5-3 bounces out.
which would have hit.
Yeah. So, some nice forward planning. Another double 6, so we're in Gammon City.
Instead of losing.
Gert is desperate for something big, like a double 5, for example. He would take.
We'll take that.
This is one of these games where both players are sort of unhappy with the result. So,
Oh, he would have been extremely lucky to get a gammon there. Let me just quickly change this to around 5, and I will also see if I can move the camera back a bit so we can actually see without having to squeeze in quite so much. But please continue talking, continue entertaining.
Yeah.
Oops, sorry.
So you were a runner-up in the online World Championship?
yeah, I had a good result there.
Yeah, that was great.
I was very happy. Collapsed, I played my worst match of the tournament in the last one, but these
The
things
last
happen.
one, okay.
I played it like
Yeah.
a two-legged cat. So I was also 13th in speed, so I was happy with that. So
Sorry?
I was 13th in the online speed
Oh,
as well.
wow.
So that
Wow.
was it. I tend to play at that pace. There was,
Okay.
so I had a
So
good
you're a
year.
fast player.
Well, I try not to be fast intentionally, but it would end
Efficient.
up a little bit
Efficient, yeah.
So, which could be to my detriment at times.
All right, this is good. Now we're a bit more
But
comfortable.
Lady Luck had her spotlight on me, and at the right time, as you know, you need it. So, but since then, the train's chugged out, and she's left me at the station. I wanted to back up and pick me up.
We
again.
have something interesting going on, guys. Thomas has just rolled a joker double 5 from the bar, put 2 on the roof.
So be too good for dancing and possibly also by just entering 1. So
Yeah,
that's way
with,
too
with,
good.
with that blood on the 7 point, you're playing on here for sure. I don't think there are any bad numbers.
And there's lots of gammons.
Yeah, he's-
So
he's-
even if there
yeah.
were bad numbers, he would play on.
Oh, tons. Anytime he comes in and doesn't anchor, even if he comes in with 2, you can still send it. And he'll probably pass. It might remain too. It'll probably remain too good until he anchors.
Yeah.
3-5. He's in with 1. Okay. Four two. What does this do? Do you hit here?
Yeah, I definitely hit.
He hasn't got a point in his home board. You don't want him to anchor.
The downside is he rolls a 3, but that's good anyway.
Yeah.
And the upside is clear, so you have to hit.
And you know, if he hits you, you've got the cube out. So.
For sure. Well, for example, if you do that, if you hit there and he comes in with a 3 and a 4, do you cube from the bar?
I have to see it visually if it happens.
Well, this seems a little bit passive. I don't think you need to go for priming structure here. I like your idea of continuing the blitz.
Yeah.
You've got the material.
There's also a theme when you're playing on for a gammon, you don't want high risk rolls. So Thomas might view this as a high risk. That he can just roll a 3, but
And there he goes.
yeah.
Would have been hit. And now I think
Now we're in an anchor game, so this.
probably not a cube until he clears up those 2 back checkers.
While he has a race lead and a holding game, I think I think he could just double just because he has something
That's why-
and
yeah.
Gerd doesn't have anything.
I think that's why he's playing on with.
So the question is if he should even take this. There looks
So he
to
can't
be
get-
enough.
He gets caught up. I think perhaps in I've got an anchor on back, but
He's got some play. He's got some play.
got some play. But
This 6-3 is a little bit ugly. Yeah, you leave the 3 shot and any doubles. A double 4 hits as well. All right, that certainly hits, and then I think you bring the other one down for lack of other options.
we could have been encouraged a bit by Thomas having his 1 point there. So it's not an asset at this stage.
And
So
he
this-
rolls a beautiful hitting number from the bar, 5-2. 4-5. He comes in and slot the 5, I imagine. Try and build something, just try and make something happen.
Yeah, he couldn't.
Saving the block.
Couldn't have got that.
Ace 3 and another uninspiring one.
Yeah, so
Just run.
yeah, he could, but
Duplicate 3s here.
yeah, but Gerd is threatening to roll the 2, which is very strong.
True.
So now he's duplicating 2s, but I think
4-5.
Okay.
Is it worth making the 18 pointer?
Well, he's a bit vulnerable to that.
then you
You
have
don't
2
wanna have a
blots
You don't want to have
Yeah.
a 3-point board with 2
and
blots
lots
to
of
attack
yeah.
and a blot in your home board there.
This
So.
is true. Then the alternative is well, bringing 2 down. Do you want to stay as pure as possible?
Well, he could hit him. He could hit him on the 4 point and just bring the 4 down. Nothing wrong with that. Make
Hit
his
him
life
on
a
the-
bit hard.
No, this is Garrett's roll.
It's the other way around.
No.
Yeah, it's white to roll, white to roll. Yeah, he's going for the 18
Can
point
anybody
angle.
tell I'm shooting till 2:15 in the morning? So-
But it's a difficult play. It's a difficult play. I'm not sure what to do there actually.
Yeah, I
It's
think it seems
mostly
a little-
because his alternative isn't very good either. So
Well, the problem is with 12 in the zone, you really don't want to leave 2 targets in the board.
yeah, but he's looking at the running play. That leaves a double shot.
I think probably 2 down.
You can also double slot, but then that just invites an attack.
Yeah, they'll be attacking with any.
So I don't like any of the plays available. Reroll.
So it's not about, it's not about perhaps what we would do or so, but if you put me on the spot and said what would I do, I'd bring 2 down. So let him have a crack at me if he wishes, but 2 down will potentially help build the board if I can
Yeah,
manage to anchor up.
I agree, but I'm not sure.
Like you don't
I'm
like
certainly
it,
not sure.
you hate giving up the midpoint, but
Yeah.
like
But
everything else is just too big.
Yeah, and he's going to have to give up the midpoint soon anyway. So I don't know.
Didn't your grandfather tell you that midpoints are overrated?
Yeah, he kept saying that. I didn't understand what he meant until I played backgammon.
Well, this is a case where this is interesting, where you know XG might agree with us, it might find us out.
We're not machines.
I don't think I'm going to run out and leave a double shot. So it seems to do it.
So sometimes XG does prefer the bold play and says go on, attack if you want. But I don't think this is the case, especially not with the cubes then.
Weaker board,
Yeah.
blot in the board.
No, you need to build something. You need to get some structure up there. 3-1. It's not a great attacking number.
It's okay. I think I would hit actually.
Yeah. Well, you don't love breaking your 8-point to hit, or do you hit in the juice? Yeah.
Oh, that's also decent.
I think on the Daniel, I would hit him on the 4-point. I was going to hit him when it wasn't his shot on the 4-point. Now it is his shot. I have to stay with that.
It's a combination of a better board and blots. You know, so even and the reason it's good is that he can just roll a 2 and then there's plenty of counterplay.
Yeah. Now he's going for a priming play, which is a bit flawed with the.
That's
with
a
the
great
ace
roll.
point. Yeah, this 2-1 is exactly what he needs.
Like,
Unclear
that
if he
would-
has the timing here to maintain them.
But 2-1 it would have been better even though it hit.
Yeah.
So
Alright. 5 prime seems natural here. He's maybe looking at bringing the 1 in from the 11, but this seems. It's rarely an error to make a 5 prime. Okay, double 3 goes a little bit quickly. We might see some crunch sooner rather than later. Thomas on small dice. Can you guess it?
that's a great roll.
That's pretty nice.
So he's thinking about breaking the prime or not, but the prime is still working. So
Prime is doing his job. Honestly, I'd be tempted to run out just to stop the crunch later. It's extraordinarily dangerous, but I prefer running the risk of that rather than.
what is it? 4?
It's a 5-4.
5-4.
5-4.
I couldn't
Yeah.
see
Said
the
back
other time.
earlier when if it was a given that Geert was going to have a backhand, would Thomas prefer him to have at that stage the 2-3 or the 3-4?
Here 3-4 gotta be. Oh, Thomas would prefer him on the 2-3.
Yeah. So this
Gert prefers a 3-4. Yeah, the 6-1 is a bit ugly, but it holds. He's going to be forced up with all 6s and a lot of 5s if I want to leave. Here, I don't think he'd be comfortable stacking up on the juice point.
breaking the bar is the expert move. Like if players at a lower level would be just playing from the 8-point, but the theme here is to break and then keep as many checkers in front of the anchors before breaking as well.
Maintain that flexibility so you can attack afterwards.
Yeah. So here we go.
Yeah, I agree with this play coming up. 6-1 is another unpleasant one. I think you just have to dump on the ace. I'll dump on the 2 and go 6-5.
Yeah.
I kind of prefer having the builder on the 6. But he doesn't really have any. We got a couple of good aces. Yeah. Unclear.
And Thomas was also unclear. You could see it by his hand movement when he went like that.
5-2. All right. Just slotting, building, waiting for the shot, which may or may not come. Lots of good numbers here. 5-4 is one of them.
Yeah. So
You didn't call it, Malcolm.
You didn't call it, you just pointed out to viewers that there
There
are a lot
were
of
good
good
numbers.
numbers.
4 shot from the bar.
Yeah. Speaking of 4s, double 4 misses. 4-2.
Thomas will have the wind in his sails a little bit now with man on the roof, the 3-point anchor and a blot on the other side. So
Here, are you willing to leave the Joker 3-4 for better distribution?
No, I'm not.
I wouldn't give it to him.
This isn't that bad. It's not worth.
He'll play down a little
You can't
bit
do
from
better
there.
than 0 shots.
True. 0 is a good number of shots. This one looks pretty.
That looks pretty, yeah.
But you really regret it if he rolls a 3-4.
Yeah, you
I
do.
think it's-
Even though there's life
there's
after
two,
death, there's
yeah.
still, it's still. I wouldn't do it.
It looks better. I need to see Bishop. He's playing twos, alright. He's playing one, alright.
Yeah, is there any bad
got
ones?
a
Double 3 is a bit nasty, but he still plays. 6-3 also plays.
I'm leaning
5
towards
threes,
the other
please.
play, so
3-4 is a bit ugly.
I think I'm leaning to the other play.
This one?
Yeah. Correct.
Just like if you don't get hit now, you have a
if he
much
had a better
easier
board,
road home.
if it had a better board, I wouldn't consider it in an instant. I'm not sure, but I would play this.
Yeah, that one feels natural for me. But you know, anytime you do get hit with the Joker, you remember it for a while. 6-3. It did have a pot on his board as well. So this 6-3 would have played badly either way. But at least he's pretty even.
That's okay.
Yeah. Now 6-3 is the anti-Joker. 6-5 is fine. Just the big doubles and 5 to 6-2.
Thomas's nostrils will now be flaring.
He's
He's
got
got
the,
the centre.
the taste of gammon.
He's got the gammon in the wind. He won't be losing much time.
There's blood in the water.
How are they going on time here? About the same.
So some bad
I thought
rolls.
Thomas is on 9 seconds here. Okay, and this is certainly a win. Lots of gammons. 6-3. This is gonna be too little, too late.
Yeah, I think he preferred to dance there actually.
Double 4. Oh no, 5-4 it must be.
Yeah.
Still got a bit of glare on those dice. I moved the light away a little bit just to help out, and we'll see how it goes. 6-1, just keep going, I think. Make 3s work. 3s work if he comes up as well. I think it's just
Usually I want my checkers on different points in those situations,
Yeah.
but I don't think it counts for much.
But he's got essentially 3 rolls to bring him home. This is going to be a challenge. Just make sure you don't forget that last checker. That would be an error. Alright, 6-3. He runs. He's not safe with gammon. He's just quickly improve something.
Yeah, so Thomas was very lucky yesterday when down 8-4, 4 cube, he needed double 4s or better to win.
Yeah.
And then he tied the game up with double 4s exactly,
Oh,
and then won from there. So we won 4-1 in that match against the defending champions, Austria.
Well done. So, alright. It is 6-2, 5 away, 9 away. Now we'll see some significant adjustments in cube play, I think.
5 away is a very conservative score, even when it's closer than this. So, so Thomas, he'll be very reluctant to double and somewhat reluctant to take.
Well, I think he'll double fine as long as his position is not very volatile.
Pre-bot days, I mean, at the score of the 5 away, the theme would be double them in or double them out, and we would like to double out for all the reasons we know now, and which translates to being conservative at 5 away. So
Yeah.
were you around in pre-bot days?
I wasn't playing backgammon. I only started I only really started playing during lockdowns. So, all right, double 1. I'm gonna say it's a joker.
Very nice roll, yeah. Best roll.
Beautiful roll. 1-5 comes in, comes down. Not loving the stack of 3 on the ace point, but what are you gonna do?
And notice Thomas doesn't even stop to think about doubling here because he knows that he needs a very, very strong position to double.
Yeah, an even score, I think you'd be sending it, but not now. And this one, you love coming down to the 11, but you've got to unstack that 24 point. 3-2 hits.
Good response.
Yeah. You're gonna get into another ill-timed bad game, we might be. Or
Yes.
maybe well-timed, depending on what happens in that.
Exactly, yeah.
Let's see if we're going to get any more 5s. We are not. 3-6. I think bounce is out.
Yeah, so a couple of good rolls for Gert.
Yeah. I gotta say, Gert is not married to the back game here. He's probably gonna run off the 24 point if he can. This seems okay. You leave a shot, but you're not that worried.
You're
Maybe
not that
go
worried,
forward.
and yeah, making the bar point will be a good asset, or even the 8 point if you can.
And he's,
3-1. Oh, making the bar point here could be fun. Yeah.
he'll have to do that actually because,
Whether
With the bar point against that
Well, I
24
guess,
point is exactly what you
yeah.
want. This is fine.
well, the 5s and 3s to make the 8 point.
two different ideas.
Yeah, I suppose you got to
A little bit
respect
still,
that board though.
So if Gert hadn't played the 2 down there, he would definitely be making, Myhr would definitely be making the bar. But
So Daniel, we have to straw poll. Are we making the bar, or are we coming up? I'm in making the bar here with Thomas if he stays.
Yeah, I like
Okay.
making the bar. Although I suppose he's worried about the counterplay and the
Yeah.
score. He doesn't want to get shipped an interesting, difficult cube. Here, I think you could.
I'll defer to Thomas's wisdom limit that play.
Yeah, I like this. I like making the 8, and I like coming down. This is a very natural play. The back game is going to be tricky to maintain, but he's not particularly well primed. So one of those anchors can be released if necessary.
also, he can win going forward. So
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if he can make that bar point, he'd be in a very decent position.
Referring to our mention of time earlier, in the Japan-English match yesterday, it was 2-2, and in the decider, England lost on time.
Oh,
in
no.
a horrendous game that chewed up a lot of time, so a tough gig for our English friends there.
This I don't love. I don't love leaving the direct shot on the 6 and removing the second anchor.
Yeah.
Although you are putting pressure on the midpoint, you're so unhappy when you're hit.
also, the 8 point is so strong.
Yeah, you make double 6s pretty off. Actually, no, they come down. That's fine. But there's some bad 6s here. For example. What?
You're amazing. Yeah. If there's a bad roll in there, you can see it straight away.
Yeah, for sure.
So
It's a gift.
We'll have to settle.
No, it's okay. It's a little bit less flexible than you'd love to be.
So when this happens to us, we're thinking, as Thomas will think, what's happened
Yeah,
here?
I love this play. This is well, it's the only play I think.
Yeah. But Thomas is thinking, what's happened to my game?
Another 6. Making the bar, yeah. Leaving the shot.
Nothing else.
Yeah, you can't start playing behind. 1-2. All right, the bar is being made, and then you have a think.
10-9.
Yeah, you don't think for very long, but you do have a think.
I don't know what else he might be thinking.
He's thinking maybe breaking the 22, so he's got a bit more flexibility coming out.
Yeah.
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 But Thomas is going to be wanting to move up with his 1s, and then he has to be ready for that.
Yeah.
So this is too committing, I think.
Yeah, this is a wait and see opportunity. That's relatively safe. That man back there. Boxcars will cover it next time. And
All
Thomas
right.
has to
Speaking of
roll.
1s,
One.
is it? Yeah, this is a nice point to have. 6s are juke coming out from the back. And with 5s, you're probably going to see him run. 4-2 is clear.
Whackety whack. I think
Yeah,
that's it.
whack-a-mole.
Whack-a-mole.
Double ace loves to hit on and get back up to the base of the prime, and then you are.
Now he's thinking coming
No.
on and making the 5
I was thinking of blocking the 22 point for timing issues. So This is a play that Thomas might very well use a minute on.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a double jeopardy here. 'Cause, it could go well, it could go bad if we roll something like a double 5 afterwards. Well, the double 5 can be bad anyway. Double 6 even.
But he might crunch even after hitting, so I like the hitting play. Although I understand this idea.
Yeah, you got to think that your game plan here is still the race. You're way ahead. You need to get out of it.
Yeah, but if he's thinking which play crunches the most often, then it's this play. That's true. Like for him.
Yeah, it leaves some really bad rolls for Garrett.
He's got those men way up there on the 13 point. Lots of play there. This helps his timing enormously. He's got exit strategies if he can come on with the 3 or the 4. Yep. Glad I didn't have to make that decision on the board.
That's a great roll. That's a great roll.
Yeah, that's got to be his best. 5-4 hits doesn't come out, but I think you're still hitting.
You're still hitting because he can break from the bar.
Yeah.
So it's true it leaves the 4 shots there, but
you're leaving him a bit too much flexibility if you don't hit, I think.
So then you wouldn't have made the 5-point prime, that previous one? We can have a look at later when I was
I think I would have made the same play that was made, yeah. But I'm not sure.
Puts me in 3rd spot. Stage. Daniel and Tom was in front of me, so I don't know, just 4 men behind the 5-point prime and not improving his timing. Heuristically was appealing.
It's a difficult play.
Yeah. It's worth spending time over this one.
Yeah. So what he's doing now is he's actually counting the numbers. So that's what Thomas uses a lot of time on. He just crunches the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Common knowledge, pit counts in the Chouette last night, and we were so tired that we had to keep counting. We got the same answer twice, and that was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Regardless if it was the miscount twice.
Yeah. Quite a highbrow Chouette if you're counting pips. This one, there are some good returns though. Now you don't mind that much if it comes in on the ace, but if it comes in with like a 3-6, 3-5, 4-5, 4-6, then you're very unhappy to be back behind that prime with the second checker, and with one of Garrett's out there. But this is inflexible as well. So it's a very
So
tough
now
play.
he needs a 6.
He needs a 6,
And even then he can be hit back. He goes a 6 next time. So very difficult play again. But these are prime versus prime positions, are so very difficult. Prime against the back.
Yeah. I'm not sure if ever found never in this position, but it's so rare to come up against these. It's worth spending the time on.
Yeah.
If you just play the natural play, you can get into a lot of trouble very quickly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's going for the hit.
That's my play as well, but I'm not sure. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
So
I don't think this is enough for a cue.
I don't think he's a favorite.
No. And we get the hit.
That's a joker. That's one of the best hits. Must be the best.
If he comes in with an ace or he comes in badly, I think we might have an interesting cube decision at this score.
Well, since he was thinking about the cubing just a second ago, and he rolled a joker, and it was a dance, I'm imagining there will be a redouble. Sorry, a double. A double,
cube.
yeah. So what is the market loser here?
Market loser is pretty much anything that brings on another checker and he dances.
The 1s, 2s, and 3s with 4s.
But even isn't there enough counterplay? Like even if that's a pass, is that a huge pass? That's a pretty good sequence. 5 or a 6. 5 or 6 after a dance.
Or if he, actually
Okay.
5 or 6, or if he comes in on the ace,
But
for
it-
example.
But
Thomas comes in on the ace, he's got a lot of very bad numbers coming up.
yeah, but he still has quite a bit of structure. He has a broken 5 prime himself, and there are 4 checkers behind it now.
I think
So-
it's tough to pass this.
Yeah, I think he's going to take it.
I must say, for commenting on the take or otherwise in this position, rather than have to play it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. If you make a
Look at
mistake,
the
it doesn't
safety
matter.
sitting back
Yeah.
there, so it's tough.
Yeah.
Well, the Gats has a more difficult side to play, I imagine, than Thomas has.
Well, a lot of guys' moves are going to be almost forced.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll have a lot of bad numbers, but I think
But
most
also-
of his numbers will play automatically.
Also, for
But
Thomas
also-
coming in, Thomas comes in 1s, 2s, and 3s with 4s, 1s, 2s, and 3s with 3s, 1s, 2s, and 3s with 2s.
Yeah.
Then still got those men behind the prime.
Yeah.
So
Even
it's
coming in with a 3-4, you're unhappy. So yeah, I think you have to take this cube.
I think it's quite an easy take, actually.
Yeah. And now you have
I'd be
anchor.
very squeezy taking that. My hand would be trembling and I'd pull in. Even my digital hand would be going click. So
Have you ever tried misclicking online?
oh, I've had mistakes.
I just did that the other day.
I've had mistakes.
I had 4%, then double.
And I assume you won.
No, because
well,
he
that's
could
the point
just
of the
he could
story,
just
isn't
redouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, misclick, you 4% you take. How does your opponent feel when you swing it?
Yeah, maybe I missed something.
Well, actually, he didn't double.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he doubled a few rolls later.
I've got 2 career misclicks. Yeah, proper matches. All right. What have you
Okay.
got here, Thomas?
He has 4 and a 6, which is a very good roll.
Yeah.
I was playing Galaxy on my phone in the metro. And it's like, towards the end, like late stages of a match, the guy puts me on the bar, like sends me the cube to cash. The guy behind me screams and I click take.
He's going to switch, so he has to switch with that block out there.
Yeah, like what else? Do you? Because that 5 prime is a valuable asset. And,
Yeah, but the question is, does he need to get him on the bar so that he can gain timing to roll himself?
To improve his
Yeah,
timing.
you're still unhappy for rolls of 6, this is true. I like coming up onto the 21. Actually no,
No,
because
it's staying there for 6s.
But yeah.
So the guy's got a lot of tough players here. I mean, he's got. His
Also,
opponent's got the cube. He's got 4 men behind a broken 5 prime, if you like.
so from here, most aces are bad anyway, so you might as well have him on the bar.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going for the switch. I think I can see the merit in this. Five four. This is a
Great
great entering roll.
So, Thomas treats that 4 point prime with disdain.
Indeed, with absolute disdain.
It's probably the best roll.
Yeah.
Four-
4-6 slightly better.
Then
Slightly
it-
fewer shots.
But then his
Take
opponent,
4-4.
but then his opponent can hit with double six.
True. True.
Small details.
All right. So Garrett finds the response. He can remake his bag game.
So yeah, it's remade his 3-4 game after.
Yeah, I like
Well,
this. I like this. You've
Yeah.
got to play
So
pure.
he can just free roll, not free roll, but he can just.
Well, he has timing issues
Yeah.
after a dance, so.
This seems a natural bag game play. Yeah.
So when he's in a position, he can really just play to win. So still, with not a lot of downside because he's got his double anchor or so.
This is quite solid. It doesn't come out with the 2-6, for example. The 2-6 plays okay for Thomas anyway.
What do you think, Daniel? Yeah, so go for broke and slot that 4 point?
Well, this wins the most games and loses the most gammons. But maybe the score
Yeah.
allows him to do this.
Well, you're not
He's going to have timing issues if he does if Thomas dances.
Yeah.
So
It'll give him some more wins, but as you say, you want a lot more.
Yeah, the small numbers don't play particularly well, but they're not going to play well anyway. And he's probably not going to be facing a recube anytime soon anyway.
yeah,
Thank you.
I like that
Provide
play.
one good point per game.
I like this. I like that play actually.
3-2. Oh, this is not a great entering number. Not a good entering number. I think this is the only play.
Yeah, he has to keep the prime. So
Nice play there, I think, by Git.
so it might win the most gammons as well in his play. So 6-5.
5.
Cover, hits. Great roll.
Yeah. Okay. So has he moved to favor now, Geert?
Oh yeah.
I think I'd probably maintain the anchor here.
Yeah, I couldn't see what hitting on a 3-point would achieve. On the
Oh,
balance
sorry,
of it.
it's Thomas playing. Okay. Just to get enough time to
I
try
think-
and hit and get out.
That definitely wins the most games.
It loses
Loses
a
most
lot of
gammons.
gammons.
Yeah, tons of gammons. But he might be losing a lot of gammons anyway.
2 bloods lying around there. It's a big play. It's a big play.
That's a big play. The score doesn't invite for a big play, but the position does.
And Thomas has had
But-
if he can
but
get lucky
maybe-
here, if he can
maybe
dance,
6-1 is
everything's
okay.
working for him.
Maybe 6-1's okay.
It's big though, it's 4 blocks. 4 blocks around to town.
Yeah, what are you going to do next turn? Your flexibility is 0.
He's got an 8 to make a prime. If he doesn't make the prime, he's in big need of a 6 straight away. So, once again, I'm glad it was his decision.
4-5. He's not punished, but he comes in and you have a decision. Yeah, I think I like leaving that slotted.
So paid off that play.
Yeah. 1-3. Okay, anchors and puts to the 5.
Great roll.
Yeah, he'll take that. All 8s are what he wants. There he gets it.
Okay.
6-5. This is just dumping.
Daniel's coffee is killing me. I'm going to have to get one.
Yeah.
Would you like a coffee?
I'd love a coffee.
What do you want?
A double espresso, please.
One of espresso.
Thank you.
They paid me to bring this here.
Yeah. You don't need a refill, so you're fine.
I'm fine.
Okay, 6-6. Thankfully for Thomas, doesn't play. 3-4.
Sorry.
Double espresso?
Yes, please. Yeah, 3-4. There's absolutely 0 danger in splitting there. The question is, what do you do with the 3? Do you bring it to the 7? Do you come out, keep going? Do you bring it out to the 18?
I think it's kind of a do what you want position.
Yeah, I think
Like if he plays 10-7, that might put some extra pressure on Thomas's 6s.
it seems a little bit more natural.
I meant the 6 point.
Yeah, the builder is on a better place on the 6 point.
Yeah, because there is really no counterplay here. So,
Even if he rolls.
well, he could
his-
crunch with double 3s,
Yeah.
but that's a parlay. Because
So you're still going to be maintaining your 5 prime
Yeah.
with a ton of builders to attack anything that moves.
and 6s are really bad. It looks like.
Yeah, this gives maximum contact. 2-5. This is about as good as he's going to get.
Yeah, that's pretty good actually. So now he'll run with the front checker.
Yeah, 3-5. Just go all the way to the 10, I think.
Yeah. I like that. Wonder if he's thinking of breaking the prime or something crazy.
No, this is not the time for a trap play.
No.
No.
And that's the opposite of a trap play. That's releasing the pressure.
Yeah.
So you can just look at how Thomas's sixes play.
Mm-hmm.
So if he leaves the checker behind, he gets hit, and that means he'll crunch.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't,
Yeah, he loves being hit.
he loves being hit. So this just releases the pressure so that's the play that Thomas wants him to play.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you here. 2-3. He doesn't want to hit, but I think he might have to just maintain some structure.
And then he can use the time to get in the checker.
Yeah, because if you just stay there, Gareth is just going to bring that one down next turn, and you might roll one of your anti-chokers.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point.
4-1, he's in and down. But we would have been happy to stay on the bar for a little while.
Yeah.
4-5. Yeah, it's time to dump some checkers, I think.
Yeah.
5-3. What are we looking at?
So trap play is possible later. Like if Thomas crunches to a 3 board, could be optional.
Yeah.
An option anyway.
I hate trap plays. I frequently do them, but I think I've had my opponent roll the right dice once to come out.
Yeah.
1-2. Okay, it's small, but he's still not hitting. He wants Garrett to roll maybe the double 2.
He wants Scout to be moving.
3-2. Doesn't have to move. I'm not a huge fan of the blood on the ace point here. It just reduces a little bit of that flexibility.
Yeah, if you could choose, you'll move it back.
Yeah. 4-1. Yeah, I think you don't really have a choice. You can't break your prime trying to force a checker. All right.
So now it might be possible actually.
Yeah.
He has you would prefer if there was a blot or something? But
Yeah, he's looking at it immediately. You do it. What would you do? Break the 7-point cleanly?
I'm breaking it now because look at his 5s, how they play.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could do that, but
would have been rewarded.
yeah, 5-1 would have been his worst. It's a huge swing off that. I think
he's gonna
Thomas
do
is
it.
happy.
Yeah.
So now he's doing it. Now.
Okay. But now he's got he'll have a full board.
Yeah.
Obviously, double 5 is a killer before he comes in and get a recue. It's a 6 and something. That's not a 5. 4-2. Yeah, I don't think there's much else you can do here. With trap plays, you generally love keeping a checker back in the opponent's outfield to pick up a second checker.
Yeah. You don't want 2 open points. You want 1 open point.
Yeah. It gives him a little bit too much freedom. 1-4 is just coming into 5, I think. Maximum attacking checkers. You love 5. Okay. Now that board is gone.
The board's gone, but the race is there.
Yeah. 5-4. Yeah, he's gonna. Oh, you are a legend.
Can you tell me something you don't know?
Oh. Also a myth.
Thank you.
All right.
What have I missed?
So a really interesting trap play decisions from Gert. He survived the back game. He brought it in, and now he's going for. There's a couple of gammons, but really not many. Double 6. Ooh, that would have been huge.
So he's happy about the hit.
Yeah, well,
But he had to hit. It wouldn't be close.
yeah.
So.
5-4 is a short lever somewhere.
These are bonus gammons where they happen, so they fall into place, and you can. It's a very awkward roll to try and increase the gammon chances.
Yeah.
So the
Well,
checker off, but where do you leave the block?
I'd probably leave the blot on the 2 just so the guy is still primed and he doesn't maximize his double 6, double 5,
And so
etc.
that's probably still the most effective 5-point board from here, with
Yeah.
some awkward rolls from the 6 and 5 then covering the 2.
It's difficult though because there are more troubles in the second row.
Alright, 3-2, he's in and this is forced. But this is, he wins a lot of games from this position. 1-4 hits.
Yeah, so Gammon's.
Yeah.
So that's a different chop play.
Although he's got nothing to cover for a long time. 2-5, beautiful roll. Now things are looking a bit spicy for Garrett.
Yeah, so both the Gammons and Thomas's chances of winning.
We got way out. Garrett doesn't really mind being hit here. The board is not there. He really hates being double hit. This seems.
I like this. He's putting the acid on.
Yeah, sixes are good
pips
anyway.
away.
Gives you some nice connectivity between them.
And that is a hard play.
Yeah.
I don't like giving direct shots because that's what Thomas is hoping for, is to be able to hit it.
How are you going to play without leaving a direct shot?
5-3, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you have to leave a direct
No,
shot.
you're not breaking your board.
Okay, yeah. So you have to do that. Yeah, you're right. Yes. Sorry.
So this is 4s and 9s to hit. One and 5. So
Great roll.
this is as good as it's gonna get.
That's pretty good. Because now Gert has to move and then less pressure.
He doesn't have to move very far.
Okay. That's true.
I love keeping the. Well, you got to keep a checker in the outfield. You're not
You need to
minimizing
think
contact.
about this one. There's quite a.
You need more contact from the last.
You need to think about this one.
Because his 6s are going to leave shots anyway, so. Yeah. He really doesn't want to move the checker from 22.
1, 2.
But this
three,
is, I don't know, one's just become too good here.
I would have chewed up time on that play.
Oh, alright, double 6 is a winner.
Wow.
And this is going to be redouble pass.
Yeah, because their checker's off.
Unless he can roll 1-3. No, this is dead.
Game
It's
over.
going to be 8-2. Yeah, Garrett lets it go immediately. There's no winning this one.
I kind of have to forget that Thomas is my teammate. I'm commentating.
I try and keep it neutral, keep it unbiased.
Can you play regularly together or get the opportunity?
I'm on the Danish team.
Are you from the same town?
No, he's from Copenhagen. I'm from Odense, in the middle of.
Oh, okay.
It's an island between the mainland and Copenhagen. So.
Nordic Open coming up soon.
Yeah,
You won't be
no,
there?
that was my plan until I suddenly had to come here. I wasn't supposed to come, but then we had a.
Oh,
We had a-
who was it that dropped out?
Jakob Rasmussen.
That's the one.
Yeah, so we had a qualifying tournament where he played.
Oh.
His average was 2.36.
All right.
Yeah.
That's quite strong.
Yeah.
That's super
I was-
grandmaster level.
I was in the 11th place with 349. 11th place.
Oh, that's nuts. You play below 3.5, and there are 10 people better than you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there were four players below 4, and Thomas was one of them. Below 3. And Thomas was one of them.
If I play below 4, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah. And this was 8 11-point matches live.
In over 2 days?
Oh, 2 days.
That's quite a punishing schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like we're on a break. So let's get this back to the full screen so you guys can you admire us, see what Daniel Sorensen looks like, because we're not always graced with his presence. In fact, this is the first time. So this is good. Just keep an eye on the players as well, just so we know when they're back. So Daniel, you're in the Danish team. So why don't you tell us a bit about yourself? When did you start playing backgammon?
I started playing backgammon in 1992 when my sister taught me the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started playing tournament backgammon 3 years later when I moved from Norway to Denmark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Fantastic.
I was born in Canada.
Oh, really? That explains the impeccable English and slight accent.
And then I grew up in Norway and then moved to Denmark as an adult.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but backgammon-wise, I'm 100% good.
When did you make the conscious decision to really improve your game and go for it? Was it
I think very early, actually. Like this was maybe, I think maybe almost as I started playing tournament backgammon, and I noticed that some good players made mistakes, and I figured, hey, I could be good at this. And I thought it would take very short time, and I'm still not very. I'm still working at it anyway. Yeah.
That's the beauty of this game, isn't
Yeah.
it? It's
Yeah.
It's a constant learning process.
Constant, never ending.
This
So
is-
the
this is nice.
so the computers sped things up. Yeah.
So
We were talking last night, the guys, and about how some players they enter a match and they're a bit slow. They're not overly concerned, but it takes them a while to get into the match, you know, to feel their way. And others are on song from the first roll. And Arnold Palmer, a well-known golfer, probably before your time, there, James, had an article on Championship Golf, and he said that a 72-hole golf tournament starts with the first shot on day one. They often jam up to the equivalent of DMPs on the 72nd hole, but he said he worked to bring his complete focus to the first shot of the first day. Sounds simple when we think about it, but often in backgammon we're sitting down and a little bit careless perhaps and not on. But some players take a while to get into the match. So they're hanging on until their backgammon brain kicks in.
I've heard from some of the very high level players like yourselves that when you're playing PR matches, you'll frequently spend more time comparatively on the first couple of games because they have a bigger impact. If the match only lasts like 3 or 4 games, which it can, if you make a blunder in the first game, it has a huge impact. Whereas when you're playing for the win, you frequently want to spend more time at the end because these errors have more impact on the outcome of the game, the match itself.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's a good theory.
But putting it into practice is different.
Yeah. There's also a difference between some PR tournaments, like you have the BMAP, which is a contest between yourself, and that's over average over a very long time. And then you have the Galaxy or UBC idea where you have PR against your opponent, and then there's an average PR, but it's also against your opponent. So you want to outplay him.
Yeah.
And so a short match, in that sense, is the enemy for the better player. So I guess there could be different strategies.
We've got a round robin happening in Australia, and it's in its fourth incarnation, but it's 2 points for the win and 1 point for PR. That seems to work quite well.
I run a BMAP tournaments in Paris every couple of months, and we do UBC format, so one for the PR win, one for the win.
Oh, nice.
I like the extra. I like the 2 points for the win.
Yeah,
So,
it makes sense.
being
That's what you're going
PR
for.
challenge
Yeah.
myself at times.
The Danish qualifying had something was called the French system. So I imagine that the French invented it. But 100, we start with 100 points.
Oh yeah. This is what they use for the French selection team as well.
Yeah. So
and you deduct your PR.
Yeah. And that's why Thomas Christensen didn't make the original team with the PR 318 because he'd only won 3 matches out of 8.
Oh right.
Yeah. So
okay.
But that was the second year we did it. In the first year we did the 7 best PRs also were the 7 selected players.
Yeah.
So it counts for something, but
So, but PR is still
mainly PR. You can't get through without a good PR, but you can get through. Yeah, you can get through with 0 wins, but then you really have to outplay those with 5, 6 wins.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's still a game, and you still want to win. All right, so we are back. It's 8-2 to Thomas Myhr, and Garrett's just made his 3-point with 5-3.
So the Danish backgammon player, Birgitte Nissen, she's updating all the Danish results on the Danish site, and she writes the time in every match.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's useful information. Actually.
It's a pretty good outtake. So what people I'm sure in Denmark are talking about is that It looks like Gert has spent more time than Thomas Myhr. That must be a first.
Okay. But anyway, so we have an 18-point anchor for Thomas. Very happy about it. 3-4 played for Gert. He's got a stronger board, so he's not afraid to split. Do you do like a kind of double split here? What do you call it, the Middle Eastern split?
I would
Call the
start
Middle
the
Eastern
five-point
split.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You duplicate aces, this is not
Yeah,
bad.
the cube's not coming anytime soon.
He's not breaking the anchor anyway, so.
So,
4-3 is a lovely roll from Thomas. Maintain structure, makes a point.
now his fives will remake the 8 and other things can make the fives. So.
Yeah. 2-6 is a little bit ugly, but hey, you make a 5-point, leave a couple of blocks. With that 4-point board, it's going to be dangerous to hit. Unless you roll a double 2.
Look, is it we're coming back?
I'm not
Nope.
clear about this. I think going all the way up to the 14 is just really nice.
It definitely has merit. So what he's thinking about is hitting or just breaking and then just running home from here, which the score kind of encourages.
Do you think it's a little bit hard for him now to run home in this position? With the 2 men on the 16 point, he's got to be
It shouldn't be that
he's a
bad.
bit gun shy about dropping
but
checkers
first-
in the outer board.
Yeah,
Well,
but first he'll put checkers from the midpoint, and then if he
Putting a
goes,
third one back is strong as well, though.
yeah,
5-6, now he regrets it.
regrets it. Now he'll hit with twos.
Yeah, you gotta hit. 1-6 is a dog.
Shots.
Yeah, I think this is, you gotta minimize shots now.
Yeah.
This score, is this enough for a cube?
Well, Gab thinks it's
We're
a
not online,
double.
we're just recording. So the fix is starting, but I will check after.
Check after the match.
So the cube came and he hit.
Okay. So pretty good sequence for Garrett. Depending on this. 2-3, at least covers the point.
Yeah. That was the worst thing that could happen for Thomas. First a 6-1 anti-joker, then a double, and then a hit. But then a good response from there.
Here, I think you're cleaning up rather than making the 8-point. Being hit is a little bit too costly.
Just hope to come home with his racing a little bit and get a bit of distribution happening somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you can offload.
Alright, well now Thomas's plays are pretty easy. He's not going to be spending a lot of time. He's just trying to get out probably with the back checker and let's see how it goes. 3-5, probably just goes to the 5. Oh no, he can make the 8, but I think he still doesn't want to be hit.
I looked away there. What's he played so far?
He played, this is his 3 and the 5.
Elf-
He was looking at maybe
Elf-
making the 8 and leaving a shot.
No, he probably doesn't need to here. He can just run home. He's got doubles paying for himself. He's got a couple of.
Yeah,
So
this
case the
seems
O2,
pretty fine, pretty okay to me.
Does want to let. There's not much to leave.
The po
4-1
WB
comes down, bringing it to the 6. I think you like keeping it on the 9-point there to connect with the empty 3-point.
So I'm just talking to Morten Holm, who's one of Thomas's and my teammates. And he says that it's going pretty well for the rest of the Danish team,
Okay.
except for himself. He's trailing 7-2.
Okay. So we have a hit. This could be a turning point.
Both players hoping for something.
Oh yes. Thomas probably more than Gerd. Double 5 is not what he was looking for. He's only covering with 4s, 11s, and 9s. You'd come to the 3-point maybe? I think it's a little bit big coming down with 2.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave that many blocks.
Yeah, the plan is just to cover, hope for a dance, and then to cover, and then go home, get home.
Yeah.
And if he gets hit, he can survive.
5-3, doesn't get hit. Okay, so there are quite a few gammons in this position.
4s and 1s and 9s and 11s.
5-3 again.
4s and 1s and, wow,
So you will break the 11-point?
I think so.
Oh, you can't leave blocks around if he gets the hit.
So you have to,
2-6 is the money. 2-3, he will take it.
He
He will
will take it.
absolutely take that.
That's great. That's a great sequence.
Oh,
Enormously.
Garrett needs to come in. And he does, and he hits.
Yeah, that's
He's
also a
got
joker.
That, he's
Yeah.
got that checker on the 8 point, which is a good move. Made the joker pay off.
2-4, another hit, and the 4 is probably going to the 2.
Promise not to be outdone.
No.
So that's why they're playing in the World Championship.
1-2. Ooh, yeah, this is, yeah, you don't want to split, I don't think. Thomas is looking for 5 and 6s. 2-3 is,
Ouch.
there's danger here.
This is only play, but it can hurt a lot.
Yeah, any 9, 10, 1, 2, 4.
Yeah. There's some, although it doesn't look natural, that is actually a play.
This just
Duplicates twos.
Fewer blocks.
And some of the twos you won't even want to be hitting there. So I think that's the play, actually. That's my play. It just seems. I made a mistake the other day, just exactly this same theme here, you know, where you count direct shots, indirect shots, and it was actually very similar to this. So learning from that mistake, I can see now that this should be best.
Yeah. Well, just that when when you're leaving blocks, when it goes well for Garrett, it goes so well.
Yeah.
And here, like, you get hit once, it happens, but you're not going to be continually pummeled.
Yeah.
5-2, he gets the hit with. Yeah, you're probably just bringing 2 down, I think.
But he might not here, so
Otherwise, you're stacking the 6s. No, you have good 6s on the other side of the board anyway. So. It's a difficult play. You probably don't need to spend too much time on it. 4-2, he loves it. He loves it. He loves that he's made an anchor.
Well, now he's the favorite, I think. So
Yeah.
it goes from could lose gammons to,
3-4.
although it should be close, 3-4.
hurts.
This just goes to the ace point, I think.
Yeah.
I don't see anything better here.
That's it. Yeah.
This came in favourably there, so
Oh, yeah,
turned
for
us
sure.
around.
I don't think he has any anti-jokers. Even something like double 4 plays fine.
5-4
4-5
hits.
plays a beautiful roll.
Oh, he's over. Also.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be an unmoor-like error.
Yeah. So I teach backgammon at the school that I worked at, and I try and tell them that if you see a blot anywhere, just say to yourself, "I can hit with 9s." You know.
Yes.
So that when the 9 rolls out of your cup, you always see it.
Yes.
Oh.
What I do try and do, especially like over the board instead of online, when I'm shaking the dice, just look where are the blots on the board.
Exactly. Yes. It's so important because you know you want to be hitting, so you don't
Yeah,
want to be overlooking.
And especially there seems to be a blind spot on the 12 point. Like, because you're so used to it being made, when there's a blot there, you frequently don't see it.
Yeah. 6-3. So he had lots of hits that. Yeah. So he's running instead of hitting. That makes sense because that's the theme. But 8 hit 6s.
Double 2's missing, 6-2's missing.
Yeah.
Fancy go.
That's about it.
And double 4.
Six
Double
points.
2 is still a good roll.
I like Thomas's
But
play there.
he has good 6s.
And he is thinking about gammons as well.
I think he pretty much doesn't care about gammons. The cube has been turned, so it's 10-2. So he should just find the play that wins the most games.
He's not even thinking about it's going to hit and cover double 4. So
3-2. Ooh. Yeah, you got to split. You can't leave him there. And you're in a double shot anyway. Is it better moving out, or is it better just slotting the ace here? This is probably fine if you start hitting back and forth. You don't want to have 2 blots in your board, I don't think.
Big swing off that 3-2 by hitting or not.
Yeah.
He would have had a double anchor.
Yeah. So 5s and 3s. Here we are. 5, and you could maybe diversify, bring it down. I don't think there's anything that comes out and hits here.
Yeah.
And you'd love to make the bar point.
Also, if he rolls a 3,
5-2.
Okay,
Alright.
so-
Things are looking bleak for Geert here. 2-3 is make a bar.
No, I don't think so. You can't leave shots here.
But against that 24.
Oh, he's hitting.
Against that 24-point anchor, the bar is. Oh, I forgot he had one on the bar. Yeah.
Yeah, he could hit. Yeah, of course, hitting
Hitting is.
makes sense.
It makes sense.
There's
And
so
our-
much counterplay off that. And
Yeah.
but threes are expensive, so I'm not.
And 1 and a 3 is exactly what he wants, but he's not invulnerable. All 2s and double A's will put him back on the bar. 6-3 is a fan.
Great,
So,
great turnaround
Um,
if he can jump.
6-2, beautiful, beautiful. Make the board. And now gammons are back on with that blot on the 12 point. All right. Oh, yeah, you got to hit.
Yeah, I got to hit.
You got to hit. You're losing more
That's
gammons.
that's
here,
actually a
you're
great
winning
roll.
more.
That's a great roll one too.
Yeah.
It's a joker. So you want to take
So
advantage
players
of
can
that.
learn from this because he's still playing to win here, Tom.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of winning sequences. And if he gets gammon, so be it, but he's trying to win.
All right. He doesn't hit. Oh, he does. He hits on
Yeah.
there. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
also a joker.
Thank you, Gert, keeping us entertained.
Yeah. He's hanging in there. He is hanging in there. He's got some teeth on him. Double 2 this time does not come in. So 6s and 4s are the money. Double 6 is obviously the huge joker. 2-3 is one of his worst. Thomas is breathing a little bit easier.
A
That
little
is-
bit, but
We're calling it an anti-joke. I suppose double 2s is just as bad. So
At least double 2 he can step up.
shaking a little longer than he usually does.
And he comes in and he covers. Oh my god, that is an amazing.
no wonder you put him on the team. Now.
Yeah, yeah.
They're rolling on
He always rolls like that. Good players roll well.
What's the other saying? Good players don't get gammon.
Was it Bjorn Borg who says that great players make great plays at great moments? She's nice.
There's also another one. Great players make the right mistake at the right time. That's from a movie called The Cincinnati Kid.
Okay.
It's a poker movie
Okay.
from the 50s.
All right. 6-2.
Okay.
Pretty much force.
Well, we know Gert's game plan is to roll super low here.
And he rolls medium low, medium low. Yeah, he's probably going to play anything fancy while Garrett's still got a 4-point board. 5-1, just brings it around.
The timing is shaky to say the least, so he'll probably have to leave the 22 point.
He'd love a 2 so he can step up off the 24. I think that is the dream. I think is like a 2-3 or double 2 maybe even. Or 2-6 for example. 2-6 you have to go. Does he have the timing to stay on the ace point?
What do you think? I get pointed on here. I'll reserve my board and wait for a while. And
That's a bad roll.
Yeah.
So now he just goes for that.
Yeah, I think there's not much better to do here. So there are some good ones. Let's say it's certainly looking pretty good for Thomas at the moment. He's winning a ton of gammons. 1, 2. And
This is the time to break, I think.
yeah.
He's on the bar and there's a blot in the bar, so there's.
Yeah, like 7-5. This is 7-5 is a nice play.
So now those are bad sixes. Some bad sixes
this is
if he enters.
inflexible. I'm not a huge fan.
I break it. I don't know if he even looked at it.
No, it doesn't look like it. He knows he's down to 3.5 minutes, but he knows it's getting close to the end of the game potentially. So
3.5
he can
minutes
take
is a
little
lot
bit
of time.
Yeah, for Thomas.
So-
yeah.
Yeah.
He's still not breaking the
Yeah.
7.
yeah, the fives
But,
and things
but
that go.
yeah, there's
the
some
7,
timing
6 is
issues
all
here.
There we go.
Actually.
That helps.
This makes a 6 point.
I think he should because then it kills the sixes.
And if he breaks a 7.9, any 6 is a good 6 anyway. So
Yeah, I think it was right not to break there.
yeah. Okay. Now breaking is pretty much mandatory.
Yeah.
Any 6 is amazing for Garrett. Just to get a little bit of timing. That will do nicely. Probably the best 6, maximum timing. Yeah, you can be cute and switch 6 to 5. I think this is fine. Covers that with.
That was a really good
6,
roll.
Double 4, double 3.
So now he's like.
Oh, double 6. This wins a lot of gammons. He's getting excited. He's breaking his board. Not in the
Sloppy
traditional
checker
way.
play there by Thomas.
That's the only sloppy play you will see from him.
Have a word, Daniel. 5-1, coming in pretty clean. Chances of shots are diminishing.
Thomas is really good at these technical plays here. Not that there've been that many, but that's one of his skills.
Yeah, 6-4. All right. Now there are some bad rolls, but he's not leaving much time to win the game here. 3-4 is one of them. You take 2 off, or do you hit?
I take 2 off for usually the hitting play wins the most gammons, but here, and you also get him out of your hair. But if there are some, okay.
Well, if he does the other one and he stays, he's got some repeating shot levers.
Yeah, that's true.
Most are repeating shot levers.
I was thinking I've got 9 checkers off if I take it.
Yeah, you can get him out of your hair. So I like that play after.
And like sometimes he dances.
Yeah. Well, if he dances like he did there, now there's a double shot with the high waist.
And here we have it.
Yeah, but that was a very unlikely one
Yeah.
because he had to first dance and then 2 high numbers.
This is good for the gallery. Don't let us down yet.
Come on, Garrett, make it rain. 3-6, he gets the hit. He gets the hit, but he's not favorite.
So the question is, should he cover? If he could cover. I mean, wait.
Yeah. An ace is a game changer here. A double ace, ace 2 in particular. 4-5, does that do anything? No. I think he just has to. Could we just come around? You get more coverage there.
Well,
Yeah.
almost all of Thomas's numbers are forced, so
Yeah. He gets
that's a
such
great
good
roll.
roll.
That's the best roll, actually.
Such a good roll.
So what, 8s and 9s are the only things that will save Garrett's skin here. 4-5, ooh. You gotta hold back and slot.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
have to
hold
slot because you need that point anyway, so you might as well slot. So
But
start with
the 4
that.
is
He doesn't
tricky
want to come out
because you
because-
don't want to dump.
Yeah.
You don't want to dump, and you don't mind 100% being hit. Like it's not all.
Well, you're screwed anyway.
It's not all bad being hit anyway. So.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. I don't know about dumping. I'd have to think about this long and hard because when he gets by, he's by with his 10s or more.
Yeah, that's true.
Here, it's come to pupper.
Yeah, you get more direct doubles,
he's-
double shots here.
Look at all the rolls that are less than 8 pips. He's going to get double shots on them.
Well, the only way to save the gammon here is to shoot, I think, unless you roll like double sixes.
So I think, Daniel, do you think this is the play?
I think it might. Yeah, I think this is a play because you have to start by make sure you hit. Because if you don't hit, you've lost. So that must be top priority, and then figure out the board problems later.
And if he gets hit, it's still 10 men off, and he's not going to be cubed for a while.
You know, you could just hit and then run around and then cover later. So he'll probably need one roll more to close them out.
All right.
After.
This is the money. Oh, double 4. 1, 2, and he leaves the shot. All right. It's not over till it's over. Can he roll the 2? It's the only life-saving roll here. Any 2.
They like making this exciting.
Oh, that's gotta be it.
Boom. Oh, they can save gammon. No, he can't save the
know.
gammon.
Easier to roll and think about it when he's hurt.
Well,
for six.
Now he knows he can't save the gammon.
Good match.
That's a very exciting match.
Good for the strength.
Bravo,
High five.
Thomas Moore. Yeah, I had a bit of everything. Had many bad games.
More? Thomas's name is More?
Myhr.
Myhr.
Thomas Myhr.
Listen to
It means
Jimmy
ant.
over here.
It means ant.
And really?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. So anyway, thank you very much, Malcolm.
Thank you. Nice to meet
Daniel. Feel free to come back on the desk whenever you like.
Nice to meet you.
Again, it's lunchtime now. I'll upload this and we will continue a bit later. All right. At home. I will see you for the next match.
So,